here today to thank Governor Newsom for signing the state budget agreement, and we applaud Senator Susan Rubio as one of our state's leading arts champions.
Well, today we're so excited to get together here because we are delivering a historic $50 million for small nonprofit community theaters. We know they're the heart of our communities. They provide opportunity, and I'm just so proud that we were able to deliver it.
Theaters like mine, they may be small, but we're mighty. There are more arts jobs in California, generating more arts-related income for the state than any other state in the union. But SB 805 is about more than money. SB 805 provides financial relief so that we may employ artists who provide public relief from isolation and despair.
I wrote a theater because I saw how many people had dreams in my community, but no one was giving them the opportunity. So my theater is the house of 1,000 dreams. Not getting the funding about SB 805 not passing, I just think, okay, it's the death of my dream. I would hate for all these dreams to die. I think about all the people that thank me for opening the theater in a community that's mostly known for drive-bys, in a community that there's very little hope. And I fight for them, because there's 1,000 dreams that cannot die. This bill really is killing dreams. That's really what it comes down to it. I've had to look at my heart and go, pues para qué? Just go do something else. You can do now. You know, like, I'm successful, I can do other things. And it's like, no, our community deserves a voice. And this is why I'm asking Lorena Gonzalez to have a heart. You do not want to kill 1,000 dreams. I think her intention originally with AB 5 was to support people, immigrants, people who were being exploited. Well, as artists, we're not exploiting people, we're trying to uplift their spirit. So Lorena Gonzalez, please do not kill 1,000 dreams. Please do not kill my dream. Gracias.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I am California State Senator Susan Rubio. It's with great honor that I stand here in support of small theaters with this coalition of amazing artists, directors, performers, and as Josefina said, people that have dreams. And I'm here to be that pathway to your dreams. Thank you for inviting me, for being part of what I'm doing in the state legislature. But more importantly, I want to thank the SB 805 coalition that's gotten us this far. So a big round of applause to you. So today, in particular, we're here to celebrate a historic milestone for us here in the theater community, and that is $50 million. $50 million. Big round of applause. And that is for needed funding to help small theaters stay afloat during this pandemic. And I also want to thank, in particular, our Governor Gavin Newsom. Please, big round of applause. When the doors were closing, when we were losing hope, he stepped up and really stepped up and gave us that funding. And so I want to just continue to say thank you, Governor Newsom, for trying to work with me, trying to work with all of us here and saying yes to the funding. And those $50 million are going to go a long way to help those dreams that Josefina Lopez talked about continue. So thank you, Josefina, for your passion and for what you do for our community. Can we give her a big round of applause? So real quickly, I wanted to separate the two, which is the $50 million is for immediate relief for small theaters to navigate not only the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic, but also navigating AB 5, which has really hindered the ability for some of our theaters to continue to thrive. SB 805 is a long-term solution to that problem. It will create a paymaster that will help small community theaters pay payroll services, cut down on overhead, and hopefully we will continue to push year after year, and this is not the end. SB 805 will keep moving forward, so thank you. And I also want to share that after becoming a performer for several years, I became a teacher. And one of the things that I realized throughout the years is that early on in my career, I was able to put performances for my students in the classrooms. We were able to teach music, art, performances, and little by little, the arts have disappeared in our classrooms, in our schools, in California, and we need those theaters to continue to be our partners, to provide that access, that equity, to all those kids that otherwise would not be able to experience the arts. We cannot go back to a time that the arts was only for those that were wealthy. Everyone deserves access to the arts. And I'm honored to be here with one of the iconic actors, Danny Glover. So I want to steal a line from him. Big round of applause to him, too. And he said, we want small theaters to be telling our stories, not their stories. And so I hope I didn't step on your toes, Danny Glover, but thank you for that, because that is the reality we face. If we are to create a community, a state, an environment where everyone's tolerant of each other, everyone understands each other's differences, the stories that are told need to be authentic, and it needs to be coming from people that have experienced it through our eyes, through our experience, and through our journey. And so I'm so thankful that we get to see more and more directors, actors, and people of color coming into this arena, because, again, our children need to see themselves and those actors on stage. So to all of you that employ our communities of color, thank you for that. We really appreciate you. Big round of applause. I need everyone to email, call, and thank Governor Gavin Newsom for this funding. Please tell me you'll do that. And I know you'll continue to be a partner, so thank you, Governor Newsom. Number 2, I need you to call your legislators. Right now, SB 805 is in appropriations, and then it'll go to the assembly. I need you to call all your assembly members and let them know how important this bill is to you. So thank you very much, and SB 805 will push forward. Have a good afternoon.
What do we want? Yes! What do we want? Yes! All right. Well, thank you so much. I was sitting here listening to Senator Rubio, and also listening to listen to Josephina, and I'm thinking, man, these are the Dolores Huertas, the Harriet Tubmans, the Sojourner Truths of the 21st century. Thank you. They are amazing. We talked about truth. Movements cannot transform our communities without art. It is essential. We've known it all the time. We've known it from time to beginning. Take from 1963, Free Southern Theater in Mississippi, formed by members of Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee and CORE. Why? Because they were telling the truth, and they were talking about the community they represent. They were talking about real fundamental change. That's what art puts in our mind. Imagination. Albert Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge. The idea that Robeson said that artists are the gatekeepers of truth. Paul Robeson said that. And we're here to tell our assemblymen, to tell our senators, our state senators, that we want more. Yes, we thank Governor Gavin Newsom for his bold initiative to supply $50 million for struggling community arts programs in the state. Yes, we commend that. We commend that, but we need more. Artists have to be our foundation of building a new world. When we're going to talk about this pandemic that we're going through, it's going to be artists who are going to lead the way, like they've always done. Artists, this is for us. This is the moment. Thank you so much. And our voice has to be heard, will be heard. The more we tell our council members here local, and thank you, sir, thank you for your work. The more we tell our state's representatives, the more we build this community of love. As Dr. King would say, the beloved community. when we're talking about artists, we're talking about building the beloved community. So when more we do that, the work we do, we'll get it done. What do we want? What do we want? Thank you so much.
I cannot thank Senator Rubio enough for her leadership, her courage, and you just heard her speak on how her life experience has also shaped her appreciation and dedication to the arts and live theater. She is one of the good ones in Sacramento that we need to uplift and support and take her advice. Let's contact all of her colleagues in the Assembly and the Senate to make sure that across the state, these legislators get the message that 805 is of vital importance to the arts and live theater, not just in Los Angeles, but across the state of California. You know, I have something big time in common with Senator Rubio. I also did several plays back in the day. When I first moved to Los Angeles in '82, I was a member of 2 different theater groups over a 10-year span. I did many plays on what is now Theater Row, which is in the district that I get to represent. And I will say this, too, to Senator Rubio's point. I feel pretty strongly that experience, doing several plays here in Los Angeles back in the day, and actually making my living as a professional entertainer, actor, dancer, singer, helped shape my ability to be effective on the Los Angeles City Council. There's no doubt in my mind that helped shape my abilities to be able to deliver victories and successes on behalf of the residents of Los Angeles, because I still have an artist's point of view in my approach to legislating. Let's invest in the arts. Let's invest in communities. Let's invest in our youth who only understand how to navigate life through creative thinking. Let's invest in our future in the state of California, and let's truly become worthy of the designation of the creative class in the United States, here in Los Angeles, here in Hollywood. Thank you so much, and may God bless.
I want to take a moment to acknowledge the partnerships and the incredible work that has been happening thus far with SB 805. First to Senator Rubio and the SB 805 Coalition. All their hard work to get us so close to where we are now. This has been it's been a long time coming. It's no small feat. I see you. I thank you. Your passion and commitment is awe-inspiring. Senator Rubio, thank you for leading this charge. And I personally would like to give a shout out to Western Regional Director of Actors Equity, Gail Gabler. Woo! Thank you, Gail, for your unwavering commitment to arts funding and also protecting workers. She's pretty incredible, and I really wish she could have been here today. And also to Brandon Lorenz. Those two have been incredibly patient with me, who have been passionately advocating for SB 805, and they've been doing some really amazing advocacy work for theater and theater artists during this process. So here's some of the things that SB 805 does. If you don't already know, it protects actors and stage managers while also providing necessary support and efficiencies for these small nonprofit performing arts companies. This protection is needed now more than ever, and as the arts sector recovers, live performing arts events will also benefit the entire California economy. These small professional nonprofit theaters create an average of 64 jobs annually. That's over 100,000 jobs annually. Jobs! Say no to jobs. They provide networking, these theaters, educational and mentoring opportunities for BIPOC individuals, for career advancement and increased performance experience. It's exactly what I have been doing all of these years in theater, continuing to hone my talents that absolutely led me directly to be in a position to make the beautiful film that I am in now. And lastly, every attendee at live arts events spends over $30 per person at other services, from childcare to transportation to dining. And as you heard from Senator Rubio herself, SB 805 establishes the Performing Arts Equitable Payroll Fund. Payroll is a challenge for small theaters because the nature of performing arts. Productions can come together for several weeks at a time or for a much shorter amount of time, a couple of weeks of that. So you have to start this administrative process all over again with every new company, every new production. SB 805 solves that challenge that can be crippling for small companies when it comes to protecting workers. It's a huge thing, and Actors Equity, that idea actually began with Actors Equity, and they have been advocating for it for a long time. This is why they strongly support SB 805. It is a step in the right direction. We're going to keep going. And by the way, the union looks forward to working with anybody who can help make California a leader in arts funding. Bills like SB 805 are a big step in the right direction. Actors Equity endorses the passage of SB 805. We urge members of the general public to directly reach out to members of the Assembly Appropriations Committee. SB 805 has to get through this committee next before these final steps on its way to the governor's desk. And each step is make or break. Not just for the bill, but for small theaters in the entire state of California.
So, you guys, I have the astonishing privilege of being a white person. So I want to put that in front of that, meaning I come from the Central Valley of California, poor kid, public school parents. I do have this, gigantic, obvious privilege being that. So I want to put that out in the front. But I'm a product of California. Public school, community college, Cal State Fullerton, no money, no student loans, all the things. I went to the California State Summer School of the Arts on a scholarship, and theater was my acting school. Theater was my community, okay? We need our small spaces. Our small spaces. Note did a show right before the pandemic, and it was called For the Love Of. And that's the reason why we do this. We don't do this to get paid, last time I checked, right? We do this because it's important to tell those stories. That is where we like Danny Glover said, and Danny Glover, by the way, and Ariana, am I saying right? Ariana, and Senator Rubio, and O'Farrell, and French, and Vanessa, and Mark Antonio, and we're not anomalies. We are not anomalies that we all have these big, full, wonderful lives. If you're a theater person or you've been in our community, you have that. So that's an important thing. And the thing about California is that we know where to put our money. We're generous, we're art-hearted. We know that you don't shove money into things that already have attention and are the big places. We know how to do this. So we're not asking for anything weird. We're asking our art-hearted, California values full of people in the government to go do the right thing that we just do naturally as Californians, which is give back to us, give back to the community, and keep those small conversations started, because those small conversations is where the big movies get made. They don't write movies about, they didn't write a movie. The Lord of the Rings was not called like Saruman because he already had the power, right? It was about the little guy trying to throw the ring into the mountain, right? So there is a thing about art and commerce, right? You can't get art always from commerce. You can't do it, but we make so much commerce in California from art. So you need us. You don't try to pretend that we're a luxury. We are not a luxury. We are a need, period. We are a need for you to make money, and beyond that, we are the joy from which social justice gets its fire from. That's the reason why Black Lives Matter and LGBTIQ plus IA, I forget my own thing. That's what we start those conversations. Feminism, all of that stuff. This is our joy bank. So don't take away our joy bank to make California as rad as it is. I'm going to quote a New Yorker right now: "Do the right thing." That's all. That's all I'm going to say. We're not a luxury. Stop acting like we are. I am already excited that Senator Lorena Gonzalez is going to pass through SB 805. And thank you, Governor Newsom, for passing through SB 805, because you are as rad as we are. So thank you in advance.
Is it me, or should someone find a play and cast Senator Rubio and Councilmember O'Farrell? Come back. I could watch that production of Virginia Woolf. We are here today to make sure everyone calls their elected officials in Sacramento, particularly Senator Gonzalez and those on the Senate Appropriations Committee, to make clear your support for Senate Bill 805. We are so grateful to Senator Rubio and Senator Ben Allen, as well as Councilmember O'Farrell and everyone here in LA on the city, county, and state level that has shown unwavering support for small nonprofit arts organizations. The theater community, and particularly small nonprofit organizations, were already struggling to find ways to comply with AB 5. But now with the impact of COVID, the situation is dire for so many performing arts organizations. East West Players was started just down the street in the the basement of a church. Organizations like ours are essential access points for emerging artists of color. We give BIPOC artists their first professional breaks. Without us, there would be such fewer opportunities. Small nonprofit organizations are also the first to tell stories from communities whose voices we have not heard or who have been marginalized. Without the passing of this bill, those stories and those communities we won't be able to meet or experience. And our communities won't see the opportunity to see themselves reflected on the stage. So again, please call Senator Gonzalez, your state senator, and the governor's office to ensure they support SB 805. It gives artists and small nonprofits an opportunity to pay their artists, be more equitable, and come back stronger.